What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 2019 leadership group. I'm going to be discussing who I think should be a part of the group in 2019, who should be vice captain, and obviously who should be captain. Obviously as well, there's a lot of speculation going around about who's going to be taking up the big role from Boak, who stepped down last November. So it's an intriguing topic. It's one that we discuss quite a lot as fans, and I put out a captaincy video earlier last year talking about who's going to be captain. And I did state that obviously Wines and Jonas are the two front runners at the moment, especially with Boak stepping down. But this is a whole a different discussion about who should be a part of the leadership group as well, who is in the right frame of mind to be taking this club to the next step. It's definitely a big part of this year, one with especially a lot of new players coming into the side. It's something that the club probably has to think more about than they would in previous seasons. A lot of change, a lot of possibilities, and a lot of optimism coming into 2019. It's sort of an unknown for Port Adelaide as well, considering how much change we've had over the last couple of months, especially from the end of 2018. That was really disappointing, and coming into 2019, where essentially it's a new era, it's a new start, new assistant coaches, new players from the draft, a couple of new trade-ins as well with Scott Lysette and Ryan Burton, along with Sam Mays too. So different heads around the club, and it's something that along with Ken Hinkley and David Koch and all of these big decisions that these types of people have to make, along with us as fans that have our own opinions, it's certainly one that really needs to be considered well. In saying that though, this is a very long intro and I know that, but it's just covering a lot of aspects that we have to look at. And look, I'll start with the leadership group. Obviously last year's captain, and a captain that has been a great servant in Boak for the past 6 seasons. I think he still has a role to play as a leader, and hearing from the players, discussing with them over how pre-season's going, Travis is certainly one that continues to show leadership without having the captaincy name next to him. So I really think the ex-skipper deserves a slot in this leadership group coming into this year. Still got a lot to give, and also all the younger players that we've got coming in, they can learn a lot from Travis and the professionalism that he shows in his pre-season, in his mannerism as well as his training. It's definitely one I'd keep on the list, especially with whoever's going to be the captain. They can learn a lot from Travis. Another one that although a lot of fans really bring up his name, and I reckon he does show great on-field leadership. I don't see a lot off-field. None of us really do, so you can't really judge him in that way. But Charlie Dixon is someone that I feel should be a part of the leadership group this year. Obviously with his injury, he's going to be sort of distance away in the rehab group with training coming into the JLT. But I'm hearing good things about Charlie's progression. Definitely is on track for round 1. And I think he has a lot to give, and settling in, this is going to be his 4th year now a part of Port Adelaide. It's definitely one that I think now he has a great opportunity to step up and really, show the younger generation how to perform and, really be a consistent leader down in the forward half especially. Hamish Parker is another one that I really want to have a position in the leadership group. Sure, he's had his ACL, and I'm very thankful that he's going to be back this season because we really missed him. But what I've heard from certain people and players and people within the club is that his off-field leadership while being injured, getting around the boys during the tough times that we had during the end of the 2018 season, in the off-season as well, and he's really pleased to be back. And with someone like Hamish Parker, his on-field leadership, we saw that in the first 5 games. His form when he's on is incredible, and I really think he could have a big part in 2019. So him being a part of the leadership group will really bring a lot of optimism and a lot of on-field form. And I think what I mean by that is essentially he can lead from the front, in the back half, do his thing, and really direct the younger players. And if anything is to go by and what I'm hearing, I reckon he's got a big part with our leadership group coming into this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Hamish can bring. And he's another one, personal favourite of mine, one of, as we all know. Boak being number 1. But besides the point, Hammer's definitely one I'd give a slot in the leadership group. We get to the vice captaincy and the captaincy of this season. As we know, Ollie Wines had a little bit of an injury issue over the weekend. And for people watching this later down the track, Australia Day weekend, he decided to go skiing and unfortunately injured his shoulder. The severity of that at this current stage of filming this video, I'm not too sure about. Did train on Monday morning, which is this morning. So that's a great positivity. No strapping either, and it's probably not as bad as first thought. But in saying that, does this hinder his chances of being captain? This is all big speculation, and we're all going to have our opinions on it, and it's definitely something that we should consider. And I'm also wearing Cream of the Crop Clothing's t-shirt of Ollie Wines, so the finest of wines didn't really end up too well on the weekend. But in saying that, him along with Tom Jonas, who I'll get to in a minute, obviously the point of being a co-captain between the two has been raised. I voiced my opinion on co-captains. I really don't like the idea. We're a club with tradition. Number one, there's one leader at the front. The other mob across town have decided to go with co-captains because it's probably beneficial for their club, and that's their point of difference. And with us, it's more tradition. You have one leader at the front, one man showing us how it's done. And at the moment, we've got a fair few candidates that can do that. And with Ollie Wines and Tom Jonas, it's very hard to split the two. And I really think someone like Tom Jonas is probably more beneficial from being a leader. We showed how good his form can be. He got picked in the All-Australian squad last year. And his defence efforts down back are superb. And he really leads from the front, showing how it's done down there. So, can you have a defender lead as a captain? Yes, you can. Luke Hodge has done it before. Alex Rance, when Trent Cotchin isn't playing, he can definitely captain. So, leadership is more than just a position you play. Leadership is more than just on field as well. And I'm sure Tom Jonas, he showed the way he's professional. He is off the field is just as good as on. So, for me, personally, Tom Jonas is my captain for 2019 and 2020 and 2021. However long he can do it for. Ollie Wines, nothing against Ollie. I love Ollie Wines. I really think he could be the captain. And look, it's a very hard choice to pick. And whatever the club chooses, I'm sure it'll be the right decision. As long as it's not co-captains, then I'll be in real... Oh, the meltdown I'll have from co-captains. Wow. Yeah, I think Ollie is vice-captain for one more year. Maybe even 2 more years. Actually, 2 more years. You'd probably give Tom Jonas a fair chance. And I think this incident might hinder that. But essentially what I'm saying is Tom Jonas is my pick for captain. And reasons for that is, as I said before, his professionalism, his hunger for the footy, and the way he leads from the front on field. And I think he's a very consistent player. And as a captain, you need to be consistent. You're going to have your off days. But if you can somehow influence the contest without being the best player on the day, then I think you've done your job as a leader and as a captain. And Travis Boak did that in excess amount of times. He didn't always have the greatest of days, but he still applied the pressure, still gave 100% effort. And that's what we want as a captain. And someone that can stand tall from the rest. And Tom Jonas has those capabilities, has those values. Same as Ollie Wines. Don't get me wrong. I think Ollie is a little bit tender. And a little bit... There were signs of last year he couldn't break away. You know, when you can't go to that next level just yet. He's right in the middle. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who should be captain of this year? Who should... You know, who are you giving the captaincy to? And what do you think of leadership group? And who do you think is a surprise packet that could be a part of this leadership group this year? I think, you know, going with experience with such a young list now, with all the new players coming in, the stalemates that are already a part of this club really deserve an opportunity to lead this young list. But if there's a youngster out there that's standing up, by all means, someone like Darcy Byrne-Jones, Dougal Howard, they have leadership capabilities. And I really feel, you know, someone, even Justin Westhoff, an old fossil like him who's running around like he's 21, could be a part of the leadership group. So it's definitely a big talking point for the club coming into 2019 and obviously beyond. And this decision will definitely affect the club going into the future seasons as well. But I'm really looking forward to what decision the club makes. And I really think whoever they pick is going to be a right call, because you can't go wrong, really. Tom Jonas, Ollie Wines, just not both. And that's it. That's my discussion for the 2019 leadership group. Let me know in the comments below, as I said before, who do you think should be a part of the leadership group and who is your choice for captain for 2019? Big thanks to the Cream of the Crop Clothing. They have great t-shirts and singlets. Sleeveless tees are out at the moment as well with a new one, Hammer Time. Well, it's gorgeous, really. But yeah, get on them. A link is in the description below as well. Thank you so much for watching, Port fans. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide content. Big year ahead for the channel and for Port Adelaide as well. My name is Anthony. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, come on, pair.